All right, cool. Hey, thanks everybody. I just want to introduce to you some of the special guests we have today. Steve Coakley and Rob Burns, two members of our OPP True Teams, Tactics and Rescue Unit, what you might otherwise think of them as being SWAT team members. Steve is one of the operational members, and Rob is one of the tactical paramedics that is there in case things go wrong and things go bad. I'm going to turn it over to Steve. I want you to tell me all about what you're doing, how people can get involved with this. It's a very exciting profession that you have in. There are so many careers within a career, and tactics and rescue, emergency response, frontline policing, there's all sorts of veins of opportunities within the OPP, and this is certainly a very cool opportunity. So Steve, tell me a little bit about what you're doing, and welcome here to the Canadian International Auto Show.
Thank you very much there, Sergeant. I've been on the team, we're based out of London. Been on the team for 2.5 years. I'm on the sniper element. We're responsible for pretty much the whole province. So right now we have approximately 6,100 sworn members, 166 detachments, an annual budget of $1 billion. We cover a land area of almost 1 million kilometers and almost 100,000 kilometers of waterways. The Tactics Rescue Unit is part of the Field Support Bureau within the OPP. That's how the structure is, and they're responsible for TRU, for K9, for flight operations, for emergency response, for our ERT teams, Aboriginal critical incident response, offender transport is all part of the Field Support. So we're mixed in with the Field Support Bureau within from the OPP. The Tactics Rescue Unit was formed in 1975. Just prior to the 1976 Olympics being held in Montreal. The first team consists of 5 members. Now we have 10 constables and a sergeant and staff sergeant per team with 3 teams, so 36 members. 1 team based in London, that's where I'm from. 1 team based in Arroya at headquarters, and 1 team based in Odessa, which is near Kingston. Each team of 10 with a sergeant and a staff sergeant, so 36.
And take a look at some of the pictures that are going up here. We have some modern pictures and some historical pictures from the past, and you guys have really come a long way from where you started to where you are today. I'm really excited to hear about it, so yeah, keep going.
Absolutely. The requirements to get into TRU, so you have to be on the road, hired as a constable, through your probation, off your probation to apply for TRU. Once you apply for TRU, then you go through what we call pre-selection, which consists of 4 different parts to it. There'll be an aptitude test, like a psych test, a task-specific test, a physical test, a firearms test, and a board interview. If you successfully complete that, then you're invited to selection, which is a 7-day selection up in, it goes to different places, but it's in Petawawa for the most part. Once there, then you'll be asked to if you're successful through the selection process, then you'll be asked to go to level 1, which is basic training, basically, starting into the tactical world from what the road guys are. They want a 5-year commitment with us. I mean, obviously, with the amount of training and that the OPP's put in, they'd like to have a 5-year commitment with us. We're on call 24/7, 365, unless we're on vacation. Otherwise, we're always on call. Our mandate, which what we're responsible for as the Tactics, the TRU team, hostage rescues, barricaded person situations where somebody's barricaded in the house, not willing to come out. Search for armed and dangerous fugitives for a K9 backup. So we'll do K9 tracks. If they're armed suspects, knives, guns. We'll do like some high-risk static surveillance details where not getting seen is critical. High-risk witness protection, VIP protection, court security, rescue operations where a high degree of access or egress difficulty exists, so rappel work, public order, where high-risk violence is anticipated, and other high-risk type incidences, terrorists. as I said earlier, our team, we have 2 teams throughout the province, one in London, one in Central, which is Aurelia, and one in Odessa, which is near Kingston. All consist of 12 members, including Staff Sergeant, which is our unit commander, and our sergeant, and 10 constables, 5 on a rest element and 5 on a sniper element. The two members must be able to serve all time anywhere in the province with short notice. So there's many instances we'll get paged out to say 1 o'clock in the morning to be at work within a short time, half hour, 40 minutes to prepare, and they'll fly us to where we got to go. If we have to go to the northern community or whatnot, we'll meet at the airport and will fly us to where we have to go to deal with whatever incident that may arise, whether it be helicopter, aircraft. Depends on the incident, how many people are going on what they'll use, whether a plane or a helicopter or whatever type of transportation to get us up there. So our K9 backup, we have our own tactical dog that's just been new to the teams. He's currently based out of Central. The dog's name's Rex, and that's Tactical Officer Scott McDonnell. He's been with the team, the Central, and helping us for approximately 2 years now, 2 to 3 years. He's a great asset. Has capabilities of having a camera put on him, going to the house, search houses, come back, quiet. It's just another eyes, rather than us going into harm's way or into danger into a house that we have no idea. You know, obviously we have other equipment as far as like little robots we can send in to search the house if somebody's not coming out, if they're barricaded. But the dog is a great asset, because if guys hide in the closet, robots don't open doors, but the dog will alert on it, and with the camera and all that stuff, we know we could tactically plan our next situation.
So I got a question for you, because we had our K9 unit here on the weekend, and Cash was here, and he is a search dog as well as an aggression dog. Is this an aggression, a search? Is he a cadaver trainer? What's his abilities for searching?
Yeah, so Rex is he's a search dog, and he's also aggression trained. But he's also trained. He's quiet, so he'll come in. He'll be able to flow into the stack when we're going to entries. The road dogs aren't trained as much to go into houses, searching houses in large buildings, where Rex, you put a camera on him, he'll search the house with the camera, come back. If we see something, we can plan our next means of dealing with the situation. So he's aggression trained, he's search trained. We'll do K9 tracks with him, as well as doing searching buildings and houses for the suspect. But he just got that extra level of tactical stuff where he's quiet. He doesn't bark a whole lot, going into rooms and going into to alert people that, hey, somebody's here type thing. But once he does find out where the person is, he'll sit, or he'll bark, or he'll go out the door. That way we can tactically prepare for our next move, what we're going to do. If we know the guy's in a closet, we can call him out, right? So we have an idea where he is. The dog is such a useful tool. And as I said, the general service dogs don't have camera systems, so Rex has a camera system. As you can see, he's got a vest. He's got a vest on his back with a little rail right here, and that's where the camera would attach. And it'll flip up, and you can just search. And then the handler, Scott, and the sergeant on the team, they have monitors, so Scott can call out where the dog is within the house, and then the TL or sergeant or whoever's in charge on ground, he can also watch the dog go in. So if we know he's engaged with somebody, we'll be able to see that prior to us going in. Turn the stage over here to our tactical medic. That they come with us on every call that they possibly can, just in case something does go bad for us. That we have medical care right there for us as soon as possible. So, Rob?
So on the medical side, our team was formed in 2007. I've been with the team since then, so it's been 10 years now. I work out of Odessa Troop. But the real advantage of our team is that we are cross-trained in all the elements. So because we're employed by the OPP, which is different than most medical support teams on tactics, we're actually cross-trained on CBRN, so the chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, and explosive. USAR, which is the Urban Search and Rescue, Public Order Unit, pretty much all of the high-risk things that could happen. We're cross-trained on that so that we can embed with the team and actually support them on ground. So that's pretty exciting. We currently have 24 advanced care or critical care paramedics working for us, and they're all full-time with an ambulance service, and then they're hired part-time with the OPP, and they provide availability when they're not on duty with their regular service. So that's a little different as well. So the OPP's model is that full-time paramedics are on ground, so their primary role is patient-focused, but we've also expanded that into training up 10 additional police officers on the TRU, so Tactics and Rescue Unit, or on the ERT, the Emergency Response Team. And they're to assist the advanced care paramedics and the critical paramedics when we're not available, or if we unfortunately do have an incident on ground. So there's 10 of those in the province as well. So we have a total of 34 medical support personnel within the teams. And we also have 2 doctors supporting it and running the whole program as well.
Yeah, so you're actually not a police officer, you are a paramedic that comes in, employed by the OPP to assist, to be there if things go sideways, to make sure that everybody gets out.
Yeah, that's correct. So we are, like I say, our primary focus is, well, our day jobs, we're paramedics first, and then we're employed as civilian members of the OPP, and then we support the teams in high-risk events in the unfortunate case where something does go sideways.
Right on. Thank you very much. You do some really cool things.
Yeah. Part of our mandate is aircraft assaults and whatnot. So we train. Everybody on the team, for the most part, went on an aircraft recovery course. It's normally a week-long training and whatnot. How to tackle a 747 or 737 or anything to that magnitude, right? Which is, obviously you can see it poses some challenges as far as they're a very big piece of machinery, and when those doors are sealed and all that stuff, getting in them is sometimes difficult and stuff like that. So we do the aircraft recovery. I haven't, since the team, we haven't done any on our team, but I think Peel's had a couple incidents over the last 10 years that they've had some aircraft issues and all that stuff that they've had to deal with. We do high-risk vehicle takedowns, so if we know, rather than have somebody, say, barricade in the house, if they take off on the vehicle and all that stuff, we do high-risk takedowns. Obviously, strategically planned where we're going to stop the vehicle to prevent any harm from the public safety and whatnot. But it's a pretty coordinated tactic with the guys going out of a van or it could be any vehicle that we deploy from to quickly detain suspect and cause minimum damage to vehicles and obviously to suspects and to us. Part of our team, there's 5 snipers on each team, so there'll be 15, approximately 15. There's probably a few more that have been trained for it, but there's 5 dedicated snipers per team. This picture shows that there is actually a person out there hiding, so that's how your cam and your concealment and all that stuff goes as far as being able to be not detected and somebody being out there not seeing you, right? If
Can anybody see the sniper? Anybody want to guess where he is?
come up and take a look, see if you can. Any other? No. No, he's not in that.
These guys are good, aren't they?
We'll kind of give you a show you where it is, and we'll flip back to the picture, and you can refer back to it.
Just sitting on the ground there.
Right? So refer to that branch that's on an angle. He's right. Yeah. There you go. But you never know, right? And I mean, cover darkness, snow, whatever, you never see us out there, right? So that's part of the whole training and doing that stuff. So doing surveillance, yeah. So when we go to ground, we go in our full heavy kit, helmets, our booty caps, full heavy armor, and we'll have a rucksack with us, a knapsack. Rubber knapsack with us. We'll have a various different stuff in it. So we'll have like extra warm winter wear, food, water, canvases to cover up. If we know if we know we're going in where there's snow, we'll bring our winter weights with us. Different type of coverage and foliage and all that stuff that we have to blend in with as much as we can with the environment that we're going into.
How long could an officer stay there without having to move?
Up to hours. There's been times we've been on ground for hours.
Wow.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Greatly
Thank you very much.
Thanks so
thanks,
much.
sir.
Greatly appreciate it.
Found you.
So that's another picture of us. That's myself actually doing some training and all that stuff. You can shoot through some median and all that stuff too, right? People think that the bullets can deflect going through a little tree branch. It doesn't have very much variation, if any, going through some median. Obviously, you can't go through big logs, but like little twigs and grass and leaves. It doesn't have any effect on the ballistics or anything with the bullet. Some of the training, I'll refer back to the sniper stuff. Like some of the training, so the OPP as sniper element, we go to, there's 4-week basic sniper training that we go to. I don't even know how many hours it is, it's a lot. But various different tasks, so we'll do like rucks in where you have to be super, super quiet. Because if you're hiking through the bush, sounding like a moose or something like that walking through there, you're no good to anybody. They know you're out there, right? So, they hone our skills and all that stuff as to be able to get into a position where you can sustain yourself for long periods of time. Like there's been times where you may be on ground for 10, 15, 20 hours, right? You have to sustain yourself with food, water, hydration, weather, right? Whether it be extreme cold or extreme heat, right? So it's a 4-week course that OPP provides when you get to the team, to the sniper element, and then obviously marksmanship is very, very much part of that. And once you got your sniper accreditation, when you're back on the team, we're constantly training. We have sniper days on certain days of the week where we're just the 5 snipers we'll go shoot, or we'll go do navigation or training. If we're not on a call, we're training. So we're not on the road like the sergeant, the guys on the road guys are. We're strictly tactical calls. So if they need us, we're there 24/7, 365. With that being said, if we're not on call, we're back home training, whether it be the group of us training at different tactics or the sniper elements going out shooting at various distances, different ranges, different atmospheres. Colder, the cold has effect on the bullet rather than plus 30 to minus 30, different effects, right? So you have to know all that stuff. So all that stuff gets trained to you in the basic sniper course.
I know you've been at some competitions as well recently. I know the Canadian Forces have had some record hits or kills, I guess. I don't know if you want to talk about some of the ranges that you shoot and what are your capabilities with some of these rifles.
Yeah, so, our rifle and all that stuff, like we shoot back as standards and all that stuff, we go back to, upwards of 300 meters, but we'll shoot at farther distance. I've shot at 1 kilometer before. So, put in perspective, that hit that the Canadian Forces did back there a few months back or last year at 3.5 kilometers it's remarkable. They would never have any idea. So that's a coordination with yourself, with the sniper, and with your partner, your observer, and all that stuff. Walking you onto the thing and having the knowing your equipment inside out. It's crazy. 3.5 kilometers, you can see 3.5 kilometers, right? So just having the confidence in your equipment and whatnot. So I've shot at 1 kilometer before. That's the farthest I've shot at, but 3.5 times that is it's remarkable.
Unbelievable! It's amazing, and you can hit a target at 1 kilometer, 1,000 meters.
Yeah, at 1 kilometer. Yeah, at 12 by 18-inch target and all that stuff at 1 kilometer.
Amazing.
So obviously at distance, the farther you go back, there's lots of effects. Bullet trajectory, the wind plays a huge effect, right? The wind at the gun, the wind in the middle of you know, at 500 meters can win back at a kilometer, right? It's hard to predict all that stuff. So, yeah, it's challenging, right? But that's why we challenge ourselves to be the best of the best. So, this is some different ways of breaching. So, getting into different buildings, or obviously this is not a house, but if we had to get in, like if we're doing warrants, you know, you could breach the door with a ram. You could breach the door with a breaching shotgun. If it's barricaded and it's a steel door like that, you know, the Broco torch to cut it off to get in. Up until even EFE, so electronic or explosive force entry, is also an option as well, where they'll put explosives on the door and pull the door in if it's pertained to be a high enough risk for us to get in, right? Obviously, getting in is the key, right? If we're taking, you know, a great amount of time to get in, that's a great amount of time for the bad guy to plan something or do something. If he's got hostages in there, if he's got he wants to harm us or anybody inside the residence or the building, stuff like that. So getting in is the key. We have great breachers on all the teams and all that stuff. So getting in is not normally an issue. We will get in. I mean, we have the resources to get into pretty much anything we need to get into. This is another demonstration, cinder block wall. You know, that's the explosive force entry part of it. So, you know, you put a charge up on the wall, you know, your minimum safety distance and all that stuff, and then, you know, the explosive goes off, the guys go in. So that's just another tool that we have that we can use and whatnot. If, you know, worst case scenarios, we needed to get into a building at some point. Rappelling, everybody on the team, we have rappel masters on the team. They go to different places and, you know, in the States, and then back in Toronto and Ottawa, have rappel courses and all that stuff. So going from balcony to balcony, if you need to get in, sometimes you can't go from the bottom in. You might have it barricaded, you may have, you know, traps, or who knows how, but sometimes coming from the top down. You know, so the guys are trained into rappel into balconies, windows. So that's part of our training. We normally, the rappel guys will train, you know, typically once every month or whatnot. They'll try to get out to refresh, tying the knots, tying the safety lines. If we need to go down into like a steep embankment or something like that, we're on a call, and, you know, the terrain is rocky and slippery, you know, maybe best just to throw up a line and be able to rappel down to it. This is our explosive disposal unit. So that's the bomb suit the guys would wear if they're to come across some sort of a bomb or dynamite or IED. And that's our robot that it's got a claw, and it's kind of hard to see, but it's got a claw and handle, and, you know, can pick up stuff, and has capabilities of discharging the items. So every team has, I think we have 3 or 4 people that are EDU trained. Each team will have the same 3 or 4 teams, so everybody on each team in Central, which are Roya, London, and Odessa, will have the same capabilities to, you know, dispose of bombs. That's just a recent picture of our team down in London with the helicopter. I mean, some emergent circumstances that pertains that they'll fly the helicopter down to London and fly us to a call to deal with the situation if it's high enough risk, and it's, you know, we need to get there quick. So I know I was on a call there last year that they flew 4 of us on the helicopter. They flew down to Roya, flew us to the call, did the call, and then drove us home. So they will come to any expense. Doesn't matter. They'll get us to the calls. So we've had calls in the Great North where, you know, the only way in is by air, right? They'll fly us there. So if they need to rent a plane or charter a plane, they'll charter a plane for us. Our OPP's got some planes and the helicopters and stuff. So we average about, between the 3 teams, 250 to 300 calls per year. It varies obviously year to year, but that's almost a call a day that one of the teams is out doing something. And that's not even including the EDU calls, the bomb calls. Not every call that EDU is a bomb call. It could be something as ring flares. Somebody doesn't know what they are, and, you know, they call us, right? And we'll take care of it and whatnot. Our EDU guys will take care of it. But yeah, that's kind of the part of the tactical unit as far as OPP goes. We cover the whole province. We can also do like say small cities like St. Thomas that doesn't have a tactical unit. We're responsible and obligated to take care of the smaller municipalities as well that doesn't have their own team. So there's like Toronto's got their own team, tactical team, and Peel will have their own tactical team in York. Anybody that doesn't, OPP is responsible for taking care of any situations that arise from there.
Anywhere, anytime.
Anywhere, anytime, 24/7, 365.
Does anybody have any questions? If you have any questions, just fire your hand up. We'll be available here as well. Is there anything else that you want to talk about, or Rob? Again, just want to thank you for coming out here today. It's amazing. You guys do such an amazing work, and so much of it is behind closed doors or behind the curtain, and people don't really understand what you all do, what you're capable of doing, and the fact that you're out there busy every single day already doing your job. Thanks for keeping us safe and the members safe when they're on these scenes, and you're available to be trained and working alongside them. Steve and your teams as well, fantastic work that they do. Give them a hand, and if you have any questions, please come on up and talk to us. Any closing comments from both of you guys? Love to hear from you.
Yeah, feel free to ask any questions. I'll answer them the best I can. I'll be back at the OPP booth down at the 700 level there for a little bit. If you don't want to ask in front of a crowd, I'll be around there. Just stop and ask. I'll do my best to answer any questions I have that I can answer for you guys. But thanks for having us there, Sarge. It's greatly appreciated. Come down, and as I said, a lot of people don't know who we are because we're just kind of behind the scenes, and But
you got the coolest equipment, you got the coolest outfits, you got the coolest uniforms, you got all the cool toys, and yeah, it's great to have you here. If you haven't come down to see our booth down at 700 level, we've got that OPP Tesla. You got to come check it out. I think it's the coolest car in the show. So come check us out, 700 level, South Building. You're just down the escalators, behind the escalators. Come visit us, come say hi. Rob, you want to sign us off?
Thank you very much for showing up and learning what we do, and yeah, we're very happy to answer questions. There's usually a lot of them, so don't be shy. Come on up.
Right on. Thanks, guys.
take care. There's no age limit, to be honest with you.
Hey, did they ever figure out